Good boys, it's been a minute since I last talked to you guys on here. It's been damn near almost 4 months now since I've last uploaded on this channel. Last time I talked to you guys, it was around like November, December-ish, before New Year's. So consider this like my Happy New Year / update video, I guess you can say. A lot has happened within the last 4 months of me not posting on here. Originally I was gonna have another video talking about everything, but that video was damn near like 40 minutes long. This is more of a shortened, reduced version of it. But yeah, man, I've been gone for the last 3 months. Last time I talked to you guys, I was dealing with heartbreak. My girlfriend had broken up with me at that time, and everything was still relatively fresh. You know, I was still going through the grieving process of everything. I decided to just upload that video, talked about my heartbreak experience. I got some good support from that. I just want to thank you guys so much for that. Really does mean a lot. But you know, a lot has happened during that time between that video and up to now. You know, I broke no contact a few times. You know, we've talked to each other every now and again. I had to accept the fact that she won't get back together with me. She told me this February before Valentine's Day, like literally the week of Valentine's Day and like a few days before our anniversary. So yeah, it's been it hasn't been a very fun experience, I'll tell you that much. But you know, I'm slowly getting better. But that's kind of the reason why I've been kind of gone for the last 3 months. I just wanted to really sit down and just kind of go through the whole grieving process. I didn't want to like make a bunch of videos talking about like, oh, we did XYZ, or I hate that she did that. I didn't want to do any of that. You know, I didn't want to come off childish or immature. And if I'm being honest, I kind of wish I didn't make that video about the heartbreak. You know, I kind of wish I kind of kept that to the side, you know, in private. But I didn't have a outlet to really express myself, you know, and I didn't want to keep bothering my friends about my situation. So I made that video. Even though I didn't say anything bad in that video regarding her or anything like that, but I think me just talking about it wasn't not the right choice at that time. I'm pretty sure I should have just waited a little bit longer. But yeah, man, I've been kind of gone for the last 4 months because of that. Yeah, man, I've just been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of self-reflection about like how I was behaving in a relationship and all that, and you know, just trying to learn more about myself, I guess you can say. Trying to be better as a partner, be better as a person. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. Yeah, I played a huge role in that relationship coming to an end. I did yell at her about something regarding in the relationship, and at that same time there was some disrespect that was being distributed between both of us. But you know, I can come on here and I can comfortably say, yeah, I definitely played a role in that part in the breakup. Trying to get better at, you know, acknowledging it, trying to get better at, you know, being better. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 months. You know, also just kind of getting some like advice from like different people, from like coaches, and you know, different videos about relationships and all that, because this was like my very first, I guess you could say, serious relationship. So there was definitely some things I was definitely lacking in. I have also acknowledged that with her. You know, I'm aware that was kind of lackluster. I was kind of half-assing certain aspects in the relationship. So, you know, but that's all I've been doing, just kind of been self-reflecting, trying to make sure I am okay. If I'm being honest, I was my emotions and my mental state was all over the place during the last 4 months. That definitely did play a factor into my content creation. You know, there was a point where I took a break from both my channels just for like, I think almost 2 months, because I just didn't want to talk about anything. I didn't want to record, I didn't want to play anything, I just didn't want to do anything. I would just sit in my room. I was depressed. I was functional, you know, I went to work and all that. I was still hanging out with people, but like deep down, you know, I'm dealing with a lot of mental stress, just between that and other life stuff. But you know, yeah, but during those last 4 months, it's been challenging, you know. I've just now came back more recently, but more frequently on my second channel. So back to posting on there again. You know, I've been having a fun time doing that. Especially now that I'm making content with the culture and the guys on Tekken and all that. And I have some other videos in the works for another channel I'm working on. I want to make sure everything is ready before I announce it. But yeah, I do have another channel coming up soon, and that's where my main priority is right now, is trying to make sure, you know, I'm okay. Trying to get my YouTube stuff back up off the ground, because I know I've been gone for a while. So I know my views are kind of down across the board. But yeah, I just been trying to get back to my old self. You know, I kind of went ghost for a little bit. Do want to apologize for that. I guess I can go a little bit more into detail as to what I was dealing with the last 3-4 months. As I mentioned before, I wouldn't say I was like depressed, but you know, I was really in my head a lot. You know, I was talking about it a little bit in the previous video. You know, there was a point where I felt like I wasn't enough. You know, I felt like no matter how hard I tried to fight for the relationship, no matter how hard I was trying to show them, hey, you know, am genuinely sorry that of the actions that I did. You know, I really do want to keep you in my life. I do want to fix this. I want to try and fight for the relationship. Despite all of my efforts, you know, it wasn't enough to keep them. If I'm being honest, I did feel defeated at one point. You know, that's how I felt for a while. You know, just nothing but just defeat. I got in my head a lot. I kept telling myself I wasn't worth enough. You know, I was so busy trying to figure out like what am I doing to where this person doesn't realize that I'm worth staying for, I'm worth fighting for. You know, I had a lot of back and forth with that during my little grieving process. Shout out to my friend Daniel. You know, he's really been kind of keeping me insane for the last 3 months, and you know, I feel bad for having to constantly dump this on him, but you know, he's been really good. He's been a good friend. He's been helping me with this, so huge thank you to him. But yeah, man, there was a time where I just felt I wasn't enough. There was times I didn't feel like I was trying hard enough. You know, maybe if I could send another paragraph, maybe if I try and talk to her in person again, maybe I try to do XYZ, maybe she'll come back, maybe we'll finally sit down and have the discussions that we've been needing to have. Maybe we'll finally go back to being together and we can restart the relationship or go back to how it used to be. And of course, you know, over the course of the 4 months, you know, that dream of mine, you know, that slowly dwindled down, and now it's not really there at this point. You know, it still lingers every now and again, but I'm a lot more realistic now when it comes to this kind of situation. I highly doubt we are gonna get back together, and I also can acknowledge that if he were to, it wouldn't really be the same, which it could be a good thing or a bad thing depending how you look at it. I think I can say I'm a different person than I was 4 months ago, trying to make sure I cut out certain bad habits of mine and all that. So I wouldn't necessarily know how I feel about it. Maybe we could have a discussion about it in private, you know, just me and her, and see how that works out. But right now, I'm not really banking on anything. I've been kind of working on myself. Been going back to the gym, cut out some bad habits of mine. Currently going on, I think, almost 3 months without pornography or masturbation or anything like that. Currently celibate as well. So, you know, going strong. I originally had a video talking about my porn addiction. I was supposed to drop that video around the same time. I got so wrapped up in everything else. I'm probably gonna remake that video and then post that another time. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. You know, basically just cut off all that cold turkey. I feel good. I have those urges every once in a while, but it's very, very far in between, and you know, it's helped me get better mentally. You know, not having that constant dopamine. It's not the first time I've quit porn too. You know, I relapsed a while ago during my relationship and all that. But that's for a separate story. That has nothing to do with her. That just has something to do with me. But yeah, I've been trying to get better at my routines. You know, trying to stay disciplined about like a lot of stuff, especially with the gym and all that. So that's what I've been doing for the past 4 months, and this is what I'm currently doing. You know, because I want to move into the new year, a new person. I want to evolve, so that's what I've been doing. I know I'm kind of like all over the place right now. I'm sorry, I don't have a script for this. I'm just kind of repeating myself a little bit, so I apologize for that. I mean, I've been self-isolating a lot. Slowly starting to get back to how I was. I'm starting to hang out again with more people. I'm starting to hang out with my friends and all that. Like, I don't know, the whole situation that happened between me and her was so weird. I definitely didn't feel like the relationship was worth breaking up over. I didn't feel like, I don't know, man, me personally, I just think the relationship could have still been going on to this day. I still think, you know, that was just a little small bump, and we just needed to have a very serious conversation about what happened, and then move on from there. You know, I didn't think we had to really sit down and break up, but that's just me personally. That's the one thing that's been kind of eating me up, I guess you could say. That's how I've been feeling for the last 3 months. It was just that. But I'm kind of in that point now where I don't really care anymore. I don't hate her. I don't have any hatred or malice towards her or anything like that. You know, I'm pretty sure some of her friends or whatever still stalk me, but you know, if you are watching that, hi, how are you? Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are having a good 2026, and I hope you guys are good. That's all I have to say for you guys. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of MIA on social media. At least on my personal Instagram, I archived everything. I haven't posted anything. If I do post something, I'm posting to my story, but like other than that, nobody knows what I'm doing. You know, only a few people know exactly what I'm doing. I might go back to post eventually, but who knows? I want to get some shit done before I start going back to giving people access to my life. Learned a lot about certain people, about certain behaviors and stuff as well. The last 4 months has just been a lot of research, a lot of learning, a lot of self-reflection about my own past traumas and triggers and all that. Maybe down the road I'll talk about this stuff in another video if you guys want me to. But you know, I think right now this is a nice way to say I'm back. Back to making commentary videos. You know, I miss talking to you guys. I miss coming on here for a minute just to say what's up, talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. A lot has happened in the last 3 to 4 months, not just like my relationship, but just life in general. There's a lot of shit that's been going on outside gaming, outside political shit, and there is just a lot of shit I've just been meaning to talk about. Probably not gonna talk about anything political. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole, but Jesus Christ, dude, like, that is an interesting situation we are currently in right now, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for the support. I know I've been kind of gone. I read you guys' comments on my last video. It really does mean a lot. It feels nice knowing that I'm not alone in this situation. You know, I know that heartbreak happens to everybody. But yeah, man, I was really, really fighting for that relationship to the tooth and nail. And, you know, fortunately, that timeline is over. So all I can do now is just move forward and pray for a better tomorrow. That's all I can say. Man, it's been so long since I talked to you guys. You guys have no idea of how I've stopped myself so many times from coming on here and just going on a rant about my relationship. I just did not want to say anything out of respect of my ex-girlfriend and all that. You know, just out of respect for everybody, because I didn't want to come on here and start blasting everybody. But yeah, trust me, there was a point in here I wanted to come on here and just make like 5 different videos about everything that's happened, but like I stopped myself. But hey, I got other stuff to talk about. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. My name's Yex. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram at justyex and follow me on my Twitter at itsyex. All that will be in the description. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. I expect another lighthearted video soon. I might have another video talking about dating and all that. I'm not entirely sure when I'm gonna post that video, but I don't know when exactly I'm gonna post again on here. Probably gonna be soon. You know, I got so many videos packed up right now, so, but I'm gonna try and get a commentary video out at least probably once a week or so. That's my main goal right now. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you.